What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a couple of news updates from Bungie, and one of the main things for the video today is an update for Onslaught and the Brave weapons, and Brave weapon drops in the game. And so Bungie talk about the Shaxx vendor reset, which actually it turns out isn't a thing, and Bungie confirm there is some unintended text that suggests we can reset Shaxx, but that it isn't actually possible. But given that we can't do that, they are increasing some of the drops of Brave weapons, as well as trophies of bravery, and some of the reward sources in Into the Light, so we'll touch on that. Additionally though, Destiny player numbers appear to be soaring at the moment, so we'll cover how Into the Light appears to have brought Destiny 2 back to life, at least for the moment, and there are a couple of other things to touch on in the video. So as always guys, I hope you find this one useful, but without further delay, let's get into it. And so Bungie say, we've been following feedback that there should be better incentives to stay in Onslaught for the full 50 waves, so that teammates don't dip out after wave 10. And so we're adding 2 additional weapon rewards to Onslaught and buffing trophies of bravery drops to help address this. So they say for change number 1, we'll get a chance for 1 additional weapon to drop when we complete a wave, and the drop chance will increase per wave until we get a weapon, but additionally that drop will be guaranteed on wave 50. So it essentially means if we do run wave 50, we're absolutely guaranteed to get an additional weapon on top of the current rewards. But for change 2, Bungie say a bonus weapon will also drop after you complete wave 50 in either difficulty, and this change along with the first means that completing 50 waves will guarantee 2 additional weapons. But Bungie say we'll also be increasing the number of trophies of bravery we receive from completing waves 40 and 50 of Onslaught, as well as waves 30, 40 and 50 on legend difficulty. And our goal with these changes is to make sticking it out into later waves feel more rewarding. And so overall, running any amount of waves will have a better chance to drop weapons now. Additionally though, running wave 50 will pretty much guarantee 2 additional weapon drops, and there are the updates to trophies there as well. So overall that's a positive. Obviously a lot of those rewards are tied with higher wave completions, although we should keep in mind there is still a general increase in the drop chance across the game mode right there, so hopefully that'll be helpful for all players. On top of that though, Bungie say we've also seen people ask if Shaxx's vendor reputation will be able to be reset. This is a question I've had a lot in the comment section, but Bungie say Lord Shaxx's vendor in the Hall of Champions was not meant to reset, and any text stating a reset is available is a bug, although they add that we investigated adding resets but it wasn't feasible at this time. And I believe there are a couple of objectives somewhere in the content update that suggests Lord Shaxx can be reset, so perhaps at one point Bungie were developing that feature but were never able to finish it. So obviously that limits some additional rewards that we would get beyond the vendor reset normally. So Bungie say one of the goals with adding the additional chance for a weapon to drop when completing an Onslaught wave is to increase the total rewards earned, as we can no longer earn brave engrams from Shaxx after we hit the reputation cap. So at least that clears that one up. And finally Bungie do add that we're targeting an update next week to get these changes live in the game. So more than likely this will drop next Tuesday, although in some occasions we've seen updates drop between Tuesday and Thursday, so we'll make no assumptions until we get it, but a bit of a loot buff for Brave weapons and Onslaught drops overall, and let us know your thoughts about those down below. I guess really overall, given the general drop rate for Brave weapons, that isn't a massive issue by any means if you ask me, but players worry more about the limited edition variants of weapons. So in a funny kind of way, these updates are actually probably trying to increase the drop rates of limited editions specifically, or just to give more chances of getting them. So share your opinions about that in the comment section, and I'll keep you posted when we get that update from Bungie. Another random side note I wanted to talk about right here for a moment though. On Tuesday I posted a video regarding the Where in the System is Archie Triumph and the series of quests that are going to drop before the end of the season. As we discussed, these quests will actually award trophies of bravery. I think we get 10 per quest completion, so it's not insane, although the quests appear to be relatively easy. So in a way that's going to increase the amount of weapons that we can get as well. However, on Tuesday, players were asking why isn't the quest here yet, and I believe in the video I did say this is likely to start in the next couple of weeks, because what it looks like is that there are 6 different quests, and if we assume that they drop on a weekly basis, Bungie are going to need them to be completed before the final shape drops. So if we look at the next 2 resets, it's incredibly likely that that's when these quests will start rolling out if they are indeed weekly, as otherwise there wouldn't be enough weeks actually remaining in this season for them all to roll out. But equally there is a possibility that they'll be sort of sequential and they'll just all drop at the same time. Nothing is absolutely guaranteed, but nonetheless, the Where is Archie quests will be dropping this season. We just can't say with absolute certainty when they will become available. So keep that in mind, but if you want to find out more info about them, I'll link my previous video down below. A couple of other random updates right here though. And Testify on Reddit did share some highlights from week 1 of Into the Light in terms of player numbers and pre-orders for the final shape. And of course, these numbers will never be absolutely exact, as we have to use things like pre-order incentives to get an idea of how many players actually have the expansion pre-ordered. But indications from the data suggest that total pre-sales for the final shape grew by about 53,000 in the first week of Into the Light, so that goes from roughly 450k to 510k, and that's measured by the paracausal path emblem. And they say around 94% of all pre-sales appear to be full annual pass, since they have the Tessellation exotic fusion rifle unlocked as well. So that's interesting, but for Into the Light, at least 900,000 Guardians have completed the intro quest, Return to the Light, and over 1 million Guardians have acquired a Brave Recluse. The data also indicates that around 600,000 Guardians have completed 50 waves in normal Onslaught, with just over 100,000 completing 50 waves in Legend. And then just shy of 700,000 Guardians completed the Whisper mission, and up to 100,000 Guardians have already reached maximum reputation with Lord Shaxx. So those numbers overall are actually pretty strong, and there are other indications on specific platforms that the player base for D2 actually doubled with the launch of Into the Light, and even the likelihood that there were more players on day one of Into the Light than there were on day one of Season of the Wish. So Bungie have definitely moved mountains in terms of player sentiment and hype around the game overall. And of course, the combination of nostalgia with the Into the Light content having a free update, and some of the content being a little bit different to what we've had normally in seasons, and combining that with the new previews for the final shape, Prismatic, a new enemy race, exotic class items, and more, players are definitely more excited for the final shape right now than they have been for the past few months, and for the game in general. So certainly at the moment, there's no denying that there's an absolutely massive shift in the way that players feel about Destiny. And obviously I'm going to say this because I make Destiny content and this is what I do full time, but hopefully we're going to see this continue into the final shape and beyond. But not only does the final shape have to deliver, but then Bungie have the additional challenge of making episodes feel more interesting than seasons have. And there'll need to be a solid differentiation there, but if they can continue on the same trend as they have, at least based on what we've seen about the final shape and the experience with Into the Light, if Bungie can continue to sort of break the mold of what we expect to get from Destiny and over-deliver, then I think there's all the chance in the world that the game could be successful for a number of years to come. That's just my opinion. Let us know what you think down below. And specifically, I'll be curious as well, are you more hyped for Destiny now than you were a month or 2 months ago? Share your thoughts in the comment section, and as always, I'll keep you posted with more Destiny news. For today though, guys, that's what we have to speak about. So as always, I hope this video has been useful. Once again, good luck on the hunt for the Brave weapons. We'll see Hammerhead and Forbearance introduced into the pool next week, so that will likely be happening alongside the update and the changes to loot drops in Onslaught. So keep grinding, but if you've enjoyed the video, a rating below really does help us out on the channel, and get subscribed and turn on notifications so I can keep you posted with more Destiny content. Otherwise though, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.